Greetings, everybody. I found this article. It's an older article from Syracuse.com. But look at the headline. Introducing America's most hated bird, the starling. Okay, this came out September 7th, 2009. But this could explain what happened in Utah, in Draper, Utah, the other day when 200 starlings just fell from the sky to their death. So this could be why. The Associated Press A flock of starlings clouds a skyscraper. Salt Lake City, yes, Salt Lake City in Utah. The next time the sky darkens with a flock of noisy, unwelcome starlings, blame Shakespeare, or better yet, a few of his strangest fans. Had the bard not mentioned the starling in the third scene of Henry IV, arguably the most hated bird in North America might never have arrived. In the early 1890s, about 100 European starlings were released in New York City's Central Park by a group dedicating to bringing to America every bird ever mentioned by Shakespeare. Today, it's more like Hitchcock. Some 200 million shiny black European starlings crowded North America, from the cool climates of Alaska to the balmy beaches of Mexico's Baja Peninsula. The enormous flocks endanger air travel, mob cattle operations, chase off native songbirds, roost in city blocks. Well, so do other birds. Pigeons do the same thing too. Alright? Leaving behind corrosive, foul-smelling droppings and hundreds of millions of dollars of damage each year. So let's kill them. Okay, and getting rid of them is near impossible. Remember, this article came out 2009. Last year, the U.S. government agents poisoned, shot, and trapped 1.7 million starlings, more than any other nuisance species. And you know what? It's a bird. It's not a nuisance. They're beautiful. I love starlings. Okay. According to new figures, only to see them roaring back again. So, if they were poisoned and shot back in 2008, 10 years later, I'm guessing what happened in Utah was murder by the government. Dirty, rotten bastards. Why don't they do something about the pigeons, okay? Shit. Alright, it's sort of like bailing the ocean with a thimble, said Richard Dolbier, a retired wildlife researcher in Sandusky, Ohio, who spent years trying to figure out ways to keep starlings, which he calls flying bullets, and other birds from causing problems at airports. Federal Aviation also say they have caused $4 million in damages since the 1990s. Really? just the starlings? We're just going to put the blame on the starlings? You guys are sick and disturbed. There's lots of other birds that fly in the airports. After the starlings' introduction, they quickly expanded west, taking advantage of vast tracts of forest land opening up to agriculture and human development. Can't have them pesky little birds interfering with human development, Dolbear said. By the 1950s, starlings had reached California and nearly all parts in between. Today, it's one of the most common birds in the U.S. Their prodigious presence is no mystery. Starlings breed like crazy, eat almost anything, are highly mobile, and operate in overwhelming numbers. They're also expert at nesting in protected nooks and making an intimidating statement as they swirl in vast clouds called murmurations. They're great survivors and quite the biological machine, said Greg Butcher, director. Butcher? I don't think I would feel very comfortable with somebody's last name being Butcher as director of bird conservation at the National Audubon Society. Oh, dear. Okay, they're also responsible... wait a minute. Okay. They're also responsible for the most deadly bird strikes in aviation. In 1960, a 1960 civilian crashed in Boston that killed 62, and a 1996 military cargo plane crashed that killed 34 in the Netherlands. Since then, there have been close calls, including a Boeing 747. Okay, well, first of all, airplanes fly higher than the starlings. Starlings don't fly way up that high. Okay, let's get that correct. That ran into a flock in Rome last fall. No one was killed. The badly damaged plane had a rough landing. I can't believe they're blaming it on birds. Those kinds of scenarios are why wildlife biologist Mike Smith has been tweaking a series of traps used at Salt Lake City International Airport, where there have been 19 reported starling strikes since 1990. Their traps use dog food to attract a starling or two. Hundreds more soon follow, and you know what? If they're attracted to dog food, you know how easy it is for a human being who puts out the dog food just to put a little poison in it too? Very easy. Hundreds more soon follow, driven by their innate desire to flock with each other. He once caught 800 in a single day. Oh, here you go. The most popular lethal tactic is a poison called DRC-1339, which is often sprinkled on French fries, a favorite starling's snack. And within a day or two, the starlings keel over from organ failure. Wow. Maybe those 17 birds survived because they didn't eat as much of this poison. Alright. No other state poisoned more starlings last year than Washington. Starlings there caused $9 million in damages to agriculture operations over 5 years. Nationwide, starlings caused $800 million in damage to agricultural operations each year. Well, you know what? Considering now our biggest agricultural operation is Monsanto, I don't care. Let the birds destroy. Well, no. Then the birds have to eat that, and that actually could have been what poisoned them. Oh, birds like corn. Wow. You know, I used to garden, and every time I'd go to the gardens, I would see the birds would be picking the corn. Well, there's another way the starlings could have been poisoned. Okay, so, anyways, at one feed lot, some 200,000 starlings gathered up each day, lining fence tops, wires, water troughs, and even perching on top of cows. Well, yeah, birds like to go on the top of cows and other animals to groom them. All right, they eat the bugs off the cows, so starlings are groomers. So whatever, let's kill them. So what if they can do this? They've learned to steal the most nutritious morsels from cattle troughs. All right, sorry for the cattle, but your ranchers could, instead of killing the birds, figure a way to keep the birds away from the troughs. Easy. It's called being creative and using your imagination. Alright, so anyways, let's go down here. Nearly 650,000 starlings were poisoned last year, 2008, in this state. An all-time record, he said. When killing's not an option, agents often turn to harassment campaigns. In downtown Indianapolis, flocks as large as 40,000 show up around dusk in the winter to hang out, find food, and keep warm. They quickly wear out their welcome with their noise and their mess. Crews are deployed nearly every night to scare them off with lasers, pyrotechnic explosions, and noise devices with names like screamers and bangers. This is really horrifying. If people would grow their stuff in a greenhouse, there solves your problem. End of story. Alright, so like other urban areas, they've had some success shooting them out of downtown onto undeveloped land, said Judy Lovin, director of the Wildlife Services in Indiana. But it's like going to be an ongoing battle. Well, I think the starling thinks the same way as you do. They're pretty much wise to our ways. Well, good for them. And pass the information along, said Jeff Homan, a wildlife researcher in Bismarck, North Dakota, who's part of a team focusing on starlings and blackbirds. How long is this article? Okay. It's unlikely those who engineered the Starlings' release in Central Park, including its leader, New York drug its leader, New York drug manufacturer named Eugene Schieffelin, could have fully imagined the consequence of their experiment. Wow. Okay. Frickin' humans. I think people are becoming useless. Sorry. Anyways, that's it. It's sad but true that we often see only a creature's beauty when it is out of reach or rare, Todd said in an email. I can't imagine that Schieffelin, who appreciated starlings on the page and in small groups, would have the same affection for them in their enormous pesky flocks. I think that's it. Alright, well, again, I didn't mean to make it so long, I'm sorry, but I thought that might be relevant today as to trying to figure out what happened to the starlings a couple days ago in Utah. And yes, by the way, I did call Draper Animal Services, the Draper Police, and the number they gave me to the pathology. And my first question was, did it really happen? So it put to rest that it's not a false flag. It actually happened. And no, they weren't killed by aliens. Alright? When I told them that people, that articles were coming out and people were saying that aliens killed these birds, especially the police department out there in Draper, they couldn't help but laugh at that. And they even said, yeah, people write about, what they say? People write about stupid stuff. So, other than that, I wanted to bring this to your attention because this is what I think happened to the starlings. I believe they were poisoned. And, anyways, that makes me more sad than I already am, and it certainly makes me extremely angry. It shows the mindset of the government. Well, if it's annoying, let's just kill it. Yeah. Wow. Well, anyways, thanks for watching. Have a good day, and let's. Oh, but wait. I'm not going to end the video just yet. I looked up this popular lethal poison. I'm having arrow problems. A poison called DRC-1339. Now let's read about that. Alright, this comes from the Wild Earth Guardians, a force for nature. Alright. Killing methods. Poisoning. DRC-1339. Let me adjust the page here. Okay. That'll work. Alright, the toxicant DRC-1339, C7H9NCl2, also called starlicide. Wow. Starlicide, among many other names, is a deadly avian toxin. It causes the largest numbers of deaths by wildlife services every year. In 2007, for example, WS Wildlife Services killed over 2 million birds, mostly starlings. with DRC-1339. So, let's read this. DRC-1339 is a slow-acting and highly toxic, but death takes from 1 to 3 days after ingestion. Many birds' bodies go unfound after poisoning events, such as what happened in Draper, Utah. So most birds aren't found and therefore are not counted by the wildlife services, leading to the reality that the body count of birds killed is likely much higher. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that the event that occurred in Utah, in Draper, Utah, with the starlings, I believe they were all poisoned. And they've been doing this for years, right? They have been using this DRC-1339 years. It's been going on. So to me, the mystery of what happened to the starlings in Utah is not so much a mystery anymore. It's a murder. Okay, on that note, please everybody have a wonderful day. I love you all and thank you for watching. Alright, peace. Love our birds out there. Let's love them. They're having a hard time. Alright, until next time, peace.